we are not so used to make it short, so we will try to make it at best. I'm Spider Alex, and with Elekin and Paco. We are all members of the project LOREA, which is a project that aims at developing software for free, federated, secure, and self-managed social networks for civil society. We begin our project, our motivations come from 2009, where we see that there was a need for developing non-profit alternatives because we were all in social movements and activism. And we knew that security and privacy was a great topic for us. So we knew that sometimes social movements need a lot of visibility and to make their point and their message arrive to a lot of networks and places, and sometimes this is in contradictions and in conflict for the need of security and privacy. And the other topic we wanted to address was to give training and formation and awareness raising and knowledge to the people of the social movements to understand why they have to fight to protect their security and privacy and to protect their electronic identity and to make it in another way, no? Their use of ICT. So we have been working a lot on providing of workshops and training in Spain, no? LOREA is just a buzzword of flower because it's not one social network, it's all the social networks that people install, taking the software and putting it in server, and the networks are federated between them, so you can go from one to the other one, and so it's just a fork of elk, in which one we have implemented all the available protocols for federation, but maybe for technical issues we can speak later that our table is over there. N-1 is maybe a social networking site that is more known of LOREA, that it has been used by Spanish movements. And bueno, it was around since 2009, so we have been on the field of developing alternatives for a while, and right now we are just a little bit exhausted, but we will address that. So for us, the solution from the first day was to use free software because the only software that makes sense is free software. The rest is rubbish, so we don't have any interest in it. And it's like this. And bueno, I'm putting some initiatives that we've always been interested for the first day. So we come from Spain, we are poor, so we are very happy that you invite us to come here because it's the first time that we can meet the other projects that we have been looking, and we are very happy about this. Then our other specificity is the federation, no? The guy before was saying, okay, the centralized system is the web is decentralized, no? Because it's the same thing, it's federated. We are not creating a new thing, we are just reappropriating something that was there from the beginning and that commercial privative platforms just broke up, no? And we are just working on trying to improve the federation experience to make things easier for the people, no? So on the privacy security, our social networks enable encryption. You can upload your GPG key and you can make encrypted information, and there you have to give a lot of training to the people to understand this idea of encryption and GPG, but we have been doing it for a lot of time. And bueno, basically, no data mining, digital suicide always available, network free of commercial invasion, etc., etc. Self-management, this is the topic that is more difficult to understand because we are volunteer, we don't have any funding, we don't have money, we just work because we do it from our heart, no? Because we think it's important as cyber activists. So when something becomes so huge as our networks, people have to understand what is self-management, no? And people from social movements can have an idea what is self-management, but when you do it on an application or a service, people still think that they're users, no? And they want you to provide them the best service possible, and we are always breaking this idea. We are not service providers, and we don't have users, we have inhabitants. Everybody that settles a seat or makes a profile is an inhabitant of the network, so it can be involved in its development and its improving. So people, I don't know, they try to contribute to bug hunting, to testing, to make translation to other languages, to make documentation, training. It's very a large infrastructure, no? It's just not about coding. What more? We made an estimation cost because we need to be sustainability over time, so €1 for server, €1 for administration. That means there's no money for coding or developing new features or resolve bugs, and this is something we have to address. And bueno, basically I think that the networks, there are several networks that compose LOREA. There are they are inhabited by collectives because the topic is to provide collectives of social and political transformation with all the tools that can be useful for their internal and external organization and communication. So there's a lot of groups that work on political transformation, technological sovereignty, social innovation, and social economy. This is basically our, I don't know, inhabitants base. I'm kind of nervous, huh? You know. And something happens to us, no? After 3 years, like making our networks, I'm giving training, and suddenly, 15th of May, blah! Everybody profiles users, what is going on, how can I use it, blah blah. You can see the graphics until the 25th of April, what happened after. So the situation is that we have been overwhelmed, no? I mean, there's been like possibility that more people were contributing to the development, but at the same time, I mean, a lot of times we have to work as waiters because we can't afford living, no? So, oh shit, I want to work on this, I want to be liberated on this and make it a stable opportunity. But reality is reality, no? And reality is harsh. But we've got a situation, no? That we've got a really increase in the base of persons that were using it. And here I just stop. So for the next horizons, we need more mothers and more people involved. We are interested in making federation stable between the different alternative social platforms. We don't want to be just LOREA, we want to be with Freedom Box and with Pinball and whatever is possible. So, because we think it's the only way that people understand that there's a possibility to use alternatives. And they see there's a galaxy of alternatives that are working together fine. It's a way of being a really competition to evil commercial platforms. We want to improve the federation and the encryption. We want to make the multi-language, geo-mapping, decision-making for assemblies module because it's what is being requested. And bueno, we can talk about the rest later on. We are in this table. We are really friendly and happy to be here.